As you can see, today we are working with MySQL, and in this we will learn how to make the tables, how to interact with the tables, how to make the database, how different operations are there in MySQL, and we will cover that in one particular video. So we will start with creating. Whenever you have to start with MySQL, you have to create a database in which you can put your tables inside. So we have to start with a create command. We need to type a create and then we say database, create database, because MySQL is a current database. Now we want that I want to store my all the tables in one particular database. So create database, and then you can give a name to the database. So person is a name which I have given it. If the command is right, it will say execute. But in my case, what it is saying, it says person is already exists in my system. So what I do, I just repeat the step here and I just change it to person1, put a semicolon, enter. In this way you can create your first database. Whenever there is query OK, that means your command is right. This thing you have to always remember. And as a beginner, you should go with your command line, MySQL command line or any other SQL command line instead of the workbench and all, because here you can write the commands properly, and if there are any errors, they will be easily debugged here. Okay, so I have created one database. Now I want to make some table inside the database, so I have to use one particular command that is called as use. If I start creating table before without using use command, then it will not make a table. So I have to change the MySQL database, the current root database, to my database. So I have to use person1. So use person1, put a semicolon, enter. Now it will say database change. That means now I have one particular database which is person1, and inside that now I can create my table inside it. That is a formation of rows and columns, the records, whatever I want to put it. So how I am going to go with the table creation. So what we will do, we will start with the same command as database was, create, and then we say table, create table, and then we need to mention the table name. So for example, the table name, I can mention any name, or if I put table or T1, I can give the name table T1. And what are the different fields which I want to put there. So for example, in my case, I'm just going to put with name, roll number and marks. So I say name. I need to put the varchar, whatever the syntax is. Sometimes you can say in the previous versions, when we were creating tables, that time we can use the concept of that time we can use a concept of your varchar, char and all, but now we can just go with the varchar thing. We need not to put varchar 2 or something. We can just go with the varchar, and you need to mention the size. The maximum size you can put 255, but I don't want, for example, I just want the name should be 20 characters, so I just go with that name with the varchar. This is my first thing, and next is the roll number. So you can put like this, you say roll, and this is an integer, so this time I am just putting integer, so int. I need not to mention the width for it. Okay, so in the similar manner, if I want marks, if you want it should be points, so if you can go with the float, but if I am going with the int again, and put a semicolon at the end. This thing you have to always remember whenever you are making a table or you are making any command, you are putting some command in your MySQL, whether it's a 8.0, whether it's a 9.0 version, so you need to put at the end semicolon so that it is terminating there. And now if you enter, if your command is right, in this way you will get a message that is query OK. This one you can just go with this. So query OK, 0 row affected. That means table is already now created, your database is created. So now database is person1, inside that there I have created T1, but actual data I have not put, but I can see the structure of it. So how can I see the structure? DESC command is there, and if I say T1, you can put a capital, small, that is your choice, because this one more thing you have to remember, that your MySQL is case insensitive. You put in a capitals, for example like this, and you put a semicolon here, it will give you the same thing as if I just say T1 in a small. So I'll get the both commands. See, T1 This is in capital, this is in small, so I'm getting the exactly same result. This is a structure which is I have created name, roll number and marks, and this was the data types. And in the coming sessions we will go with the what is the null, key, default and extras and all. Today we are going to cover the basic commands which are required in MySQL for creating the tables, for manipulations, and how we are going to work with the tables and all. So we have created just a structure, just a headings, and how much width should be there and all. We just created that. We have not created any, we have not put any data in it. So now we want to put the data. So there is a one particular command that is called as insert into. So insert into a command, it is not insert only, you have to always remember it as insert into. Students always remember it like, for example, insert, and then they make the mistake and they just don't remember that you have to put into here. So that's the reason I always tell the students that remember it like insert into. So insert into where you want to insert. See, MySQL or SQL or any other database language is very similar to English like language, like how you are thinking, insert into, insert into. So where you want to insert, I want to insert in a T1. It can be capital, it can be small. As I told you, MySQL is a case insensitive. So insert into T1. Now you want to put the values. So you need to put the values like a keyword. You have to mention values. You can't put it value here. You need to put values, say like this, and then you need to put opening and closing parenthesis with a semicolon. Now actual values you need to put here. The first value is name. So in double quotes you will say the first name. This is the name. Then you put a comma here. Then the roll number, put the comma every time, then the marks. Just you have to enter. If your command is right, it will say query okay, one row affected. Earlier it was not saying like one row affected. If you just go with here, it was saying 0 row because nothing was there. That's the reason it is saying 0 row. And this time it says 1 row affected. That means in your table now one particular row is there under the particular columns. Now you want to see where is the data. So there is one particular command again, that is select, and you will say star. Star means all, everything you want to see. Star is a wild card basically. We generally say it asterisk. If you don't remember, so just put it like this. This is called as asterisk, and asterisk is used for all. All means everything I want to see. Select star from. This is a command. Select star from. Where from you want? So I want from T1. So if I enter, I'll get the exact data which I have entered. See, beautifully I am getting the thing. So insert into T1, values are this. Okay. Now this is how you can insert the data. In the similar manner, if you want to repeat, just you have up arrow in your keyboard, just track the command and just change your values. So for example, Anik is a value, 2 is a thing, and here you want to change the values to it like this. Query okay. In this way again you want to change with, for example, this time you say mini and the value is 3, and this time you want to give it 70. So if you just repeat the command select star from T1, you will get a beautiful table in it. In this way you can make a database, you can create a table, you can put the values into the table. This is one thing. Now if you want to, you have created the table, and next thing what you want to see the particular values. I don't want to see all the values, I want to see particular value. For example, I want to see the roll number 1 value or something. The table can be having thousands of records, so I just want a particular value. So for that you have to mention select star from. What is the table name? Table name is T1, and there is one thing called as where. As I told you, it's English like commands. Where, what I want, where I say roll is equal. So you can't put roll number because in heading you have mentioned roll. So exactly you have to mention roll here, and you will say roll is equals to 1, or whatever you want. For example, I want for 3. So if I say enter, I'll just get only the particular record here, right? So this is a thing which you have to remember. Okay. One more thing, if you want to mention the more condition with it. I just want all the records whose roll number is greater than 2, or roll number is greater than 2, and marks are you can mention marks are less than 80 or something like that, or you can mention any other condition. That means I want two conditions should be satisfied with it. I want two conditions should be satisfied, for which case it is like that. In your table, if there are two minis and one mini is the persons can have same names, isn't it, but the roll number can be different. So now if I just display like this, if I mention it like this, and if I just say select T1, I get the both minis here. But I don't want to display all the minis. I just want the mini which is having roll number 4, so I'll get the particular mini like that. But if I just mention the select star, if I say select star from T1 and I say where name is equals to mini, this time I'll get both the records, because I am saying name is mini, but I say I want mini, name is mini, but I want that person whose marks are greater than 70. So what I have to mention, I have to mention two particular conditions together, right? If you have worked with the programming languages other, so you must have knowledge of and. If not, no worries, I'm here. And means there are multiple conditions which I have to give it, and the multiple condition, if the multiple conditions are satisfied in the table, then it will give you the output. So if I say here marks, exactly I have to mention the heading name, marks is greater than 70. If there is any record which is having mini and which is having greater than 70, then it will display. So in my case, exactly it is like that. But if I put instead of this greater than, if I put less than, mini is there, but I am saying and means both the conditions should be true. So this thing you have to always and always remember. Number of conditions you are mentioning here, if I put and here and I put again one more condition here, so you need to satisfy these three conditions. So all the conditions should be true, then it will display. If I put like this, it will not display anything. See, it says empty set. Okay, but there is one more operator here instead of and. If I say or means either this can be true or this can be true, I will execute. It says I don't have any problem with it. I'm saying if mini is there or less than 70 is there, I'll execute. So if I say enter here, I'll get both the minis, because I have mentioned name is mini. If I change it like this, if I say instead of mini, if I say minic, which is not there in the table, we know that. But if I say instead of greater than here, now this condition is false, but this condition is true, because there is one person which is greater than 70. So or either, so I get one mini. If I say okay, one more thing you have to, one mini I am getting, and other also are having greater than 70 marks, so I am getting 89 and 80 also. Okay, so this thing you have to always and always remember, how and is going to work and how or is going to work. And is going to work with both the conditions, and or is going to work with the either of. That means either any, if there are three conditions in or, and if one condition is true, it will execute. This thing you have to always and always remember for this and or thing. Okay, so now this is how you can select the different types of it, or select the different according. This is called a filtering. How you are going to filter it, how you are going to, for example, I don't want on the basis of conditions. Now I just want on the basis of columns. So I can choose like this, select, I say name from, I don't want to give it star. Now I say select name from T1 and I put a semicolon, I get only the names. In the similar manner, I just want to go with the name and marks, not with the roll number. So with put a comma here, put marks like this and enter. You will get name, marks with it. So in this way you can make the table, and you can make the different changes to it, and you can make different conditions on it. So if you want to go with this like and or, and there is one more operator called as not. Not means you don't want to go with the particular condition here. You don't want to, for example, go whatever the condition is there, and if I put not before that, not means the condition is if the condition is true, that means the condition is false. I'll show you how. So if I say here, instead of this, I am putting like this, I'm saying or, and if I say here name, instead of this, where not marks greater than 70. What does it means? Greater than means it is going to give you 89, 80, 90, 3 records. I'll show you where marks is this 89, 80 and 90, right? Exactly, it's true. So now if I put instead of this, if I put before not means it will reverse the chain. That means it will display this many, that is 70 only. That means I am saying not means whatever the condition is there, I am going to flip it. That means reverse, invert of it. So in this way you can work with the select statement. There are many other options also, but for a beginner, these are the things which should be, you should know about your select statement. Okay, so one more thing which we can go with the select statement here. I'll just make a table, just display the table. Now I want the marks should be here in a ascending order. So there is one command called as order by. So that is a clause or option. Select star from, I say from T1 and I say order by. Order by what? I say marks. So now you will see, if I enter, you will see it has done wonderful thing for us. Now the marks are in a sorted manner, 70, 80, 89, 90, right? So in this way, so it doesn't matter that how the names are there. Now if you want the roll number should be in a descending order, so what you will do, order by marks, instead of this you will say roll, and there is one thing called as DESC. You can put it like this or you can put whole descending. Okay, so if I say order by roll and DESC, so you will see now it is giving the roll number in a reverse, that is in a 4, 3, 2, 1. So in this way you can make a table, you can work on the table, you can select the table, you can give the ascending or sorting technique in a table. So this is it for, you can say, how MySQL is going to work with. In the coming sessions, we will do some manipulations like update command and all, and we will see many more things in the coming sessions related to your MySQL. I think this is now clear to you people that MySQL is not tough. Just you have to make the commands, you have to make right commands, you have to practice, and in this way you will be able to learn MySQL. So I think now MySQL is very easy for you to do. Start your journey today, and if you really find the content useful, put a thumbs up, share with your friends, subscribe the channel, and I'll meet you in the next chapter of programming. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.